a legion for evil many.
Warning system critical. Warning. 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 Warning.
Get out of there.
Warning.
Hey, it's not good. You are completely off the grid. I can't find you. This can't be the end of Jet Ski Chuck.
Ayukin! And you can... Elysian.
What day is it? How long have I been on these waters?
We couldn't reach you for 15 days.
Oh no, I have to get back.
No, it's too early. We
I
still
have
need
to.
more tests.
Hyper mode activated.
Damn it, don't do it.
You better lock in and buckle up because you're in for another creepy and scary TikTok reaction video. I'm Jet Ski Chuck, lost on these dark waters. Join me as we venture out into the abyss. Lock in. We gotta go back. Activate quantum mode.
Activating quantum.
I've lost too much time. Spent too much time on those dark waters. Have to gain some back.
Boy, miss being on these waters. Man, it feels good to be back. Your boy was trapped in Dark Waters 9, as y'all can see. Had to bust my way up out of there. But hey, we back, man. Hopefully got on the new jet ski, so hopefully this one won't fail me. So let's dive into it, y'all. On these creepy and scary TikToks. It's your boy Jet Ski Chuck with the reaction. For entertainment purposes only. Let me know if you guys like the new camera setup too. I got a new camera. You know, we back, baby.
Inhuman appearance has become the standard when we turn on the TV or read a newspaper. There are 3 ways they blend into society relatively unnoticed. They can transfer their projected consciousness from body to body via underground cloning centers. In these centers, there are operations in place which make sure reptilian entities have an endless supply of human bodies with the right genetics to inhabit. They also drone the bodies of already established figures. This is where the concept of body snatchers comes from. But the main way they blend in is by using advanced holographic technology to cloak themselves. Liquid crystals are matter in a state which has properties between those of conventional liquids and those of solid crystals. Scientists for years have been studying liquid crystals for use in 3D holographic technologies.
Hold on, liquid crystals. We gotta write that down. Liquid crystals.
In this video, this guy describes a liquid crystal that most people call black goo that has the ability to tell when it's being observed and much more. Make sure you watch until the end and let me know what you think in the comments below.
The little pictures from the microscope. This is German rain. And if you want to know what this liquid does, you can have a look at it in the lab. When you have bigger amounts of it, it looks like this. It's a liquid crystal. This liquid is self-organizing physically. And this, at the moment, is sleeping. It's not aware of being observed. It's quiet. Sometimes when it doesn't like to be observed, it might jump out of the pot straight into your face. If you have two of those in one room, get them 5 meters close to each other, they stare at each other, then they decide that they want to be united. And then they start to pull. It's like magnetism, but it's intelligent. And when they realize that you hold them within the vessel and they cannot escape, they get angry and start to shake the vessel and try to break through the wall. Because they know once they are through, they can flow over the ground and unite to a bigger unit. This is something you can just observe in the lab. And especially this liquid was extracted from those black stones. This is World War II leftovers. We found them in an underground facility in Bavaria, 1/2 ton of it. So we can imagine that the SS processed quite a bit of this. And I guess that the guys found also the technology to extract the oil from it. Must have been there in written form because they did it in the lab successfully.
Liquid crystals? Could this be the real Venom symbiote? That's interesting. I want to dive a little bit more into this, see what we can find on these dark waters.
And let everyone be at peace. It's okay. To my grandma, I want to say you love your kids so much, and thank you for the teddy bear you gave me. Mommy, promise me you won't cry. Be happy, not trapped. And don't try so hard for someone to love you. Don't push them away either, and don't cry about not being loved by Tony. This was all an accident.
That's looking real crazy.
Don't push them away either, and don't cry about not being loved by Tony. This was all an accident.
A well-known video of a shapeshift caught by a bunch of phones in the same theater. Now you look, it's almost as if it needed to pull the energy from the person. Because this, I mean, this is wild. And this was 2017 or 18. But as we've said, truth is stranger than fiction. You think Doctor Strange is a wild story? It's 10 times more wild than that, if not more. But God is over all and will cry. This is a well-known video of a shapeshift.
I don't know. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. Does liquid crystal have some type of role with aliens or maybe with our cellular devices? I don't know. But that liquid crystal on the phone, what was that? What is in our TVs? You guys tell me what is inside our TVs. That looked crazy. That looked just like the liquid crystal, whatever they're talking about.
Those racists told me it's all just a joke. He says it doesn't really happen. He says he put them on his website just to annoy the weapon. He says he put them on his website just a joke. He says it doesn't really happen. He says he put them on his website just to annoy the local sheriff. Russ?
Well, no.
Advertises, those racists told me it's all just a joke. He says it doesn't really happen. He says he put them on his website just to annoy the weapon. He says he put them on his website.
The crazy part about this is it happens only to his face and his skin. That's the wild part about this.
Just a joke. He says it doesn't really happen. He says he put them on his website just to annoy the local sheriff. Well, every time.
That is wild. Look at this. How do you make that up? Huh? And whereas you saw iron mixed with murray clay, and they shall mingle themselves with the seed of man. Daniel 2:43. Anchor's face, it's all shaped. Iron mixed with clay? What? Iron mixed with clay. Daniel 2:43, we're going to look into that, see if there's any validity to this with this reptilians, maybe. For entertainment purposes, of course. It might be a coincidence. The reptilians is out here. You better watch out. Got your bells, ringing those bells so the vibrations can't shapeshift with the vibrations. Remember that.
Imagine being a shape-shifting fallen angel, okay? The reptilian thing is probably just a whole ploy, and aliens, it's a whole ploy to set up. So, anyway, but imagine being able to manipulate this energy, because that's what they could do. It's all just energy, right? This is all energy, and just like protons and neutrons can do whatever they want, whenever they want, so shape-shifting aliens have the authority and the awareness over this energy to do what they want at will. What do they choose to do? Attack God's children. What do they choose to do? They get their pleasure out of trying to tear down human beings and set up these systems to fail, this fictitious inflation, and wars and prejudices and all these different ideals and stupid, or, you know, turning religions against each other and all these things that play on our ego. First they created our ego, ego, edging God out, right? The knowledge of good and evil, the knowledge of right and wrong. They poisoned us with this judgmentalism. They caused us to sin, to separate us from God, and further disillusion us with NASA and all this bullshit to mess with us, to ruin our sense of reality or know our identity in Christ and in God, right? Like every system, every civilization has risen and fallen because they're run by these shape-shifting fallen angels that cause them to fall, right? They got us addicted to money, right? They got us controlled. We're willing to kill each other over colored pieces of paper. That's how pathetic this situation is, people. So their problem is they have control. They probably don't even need to eat food, but maybe they do. Maybe they need to intake energy still. Like, I don't know how it works for an angel, but they can do whatever they want, whenever they want within this system. So there's no gratification there. See, we have to work at things to become gratified, to achieve things and become happy, right? And you know, earn money to get this and that, to be happy, or achieve, you know, a vacation, or achieve a motorboat, or whatever it is you want, right? A nice house that make us happy. But they don't have this sense of happiness because they have everything they need at any time, because it's just energy that they know how to manipulate, right? But they have certain limits, right? God has them on a leash, right? Like if they cross certain lines, then for sure God's gonna, you know, they can't, right? We have more authority than them. We are children of God that He's protecting. But if we sin and we let them in through sin, we let demonic forces in, and they're allowed to tamper with us through sin, because God can't have anything to do with sin. So when we sin, it further separates us from God and lets the demons in to attack us. So anyways, yeah, that's why they attack drug addicts. Psychosis, like this is shape-shifting aliens messing with people, giving them schizophrenia or drug-induced psychosis, making you feel crazy, ruining your sense of a reality, ruining your trust in your environment, isolating you, ruining your life, disconnecting you from God and disconnecting you from everybody else, because it's all about relationship. God created us for relationship, and relationships are the most important part of our lives. Relationships dictate how we think and feel, and how we feel about each other, and how we feel about life, right? So that's why they're trying to ruin our relationships constantly. God bless y'all in Jesus' name. Just don't stop loving. We even got to love them. We don't know who's who. Just love them out. Let God sort it out.
Shape-shifting fallen angel. Interesting. Reptilians, huh?
The reason is because this glass of water here is in a state that I cannot actually turn into the liquid crystal inside my cells that my body's actually craving.
Liquid crystal?
So as soon as water gets inside a human cell, it turns into a gel, and it functions as a liquid crystal. It can actually hold light energy just as a liquid crystal in your radio would.
First of all, what is going on with your voice? Maybe you should drink some water.
And so that liquid crystal that I'm craving is the interplay between H2O molecules and salt, electrolytes.
Hello everybody, here's Martin, your personal water sommelier. Okay, the only crystal form of water is this one. I like to ski on it, but I'm not gonna drink that.
So water in all of its natural states is never just H2O. It's always a dance between energy in the form of minerals and electrolytes and these massively beautiful molecules of the H2O itself.
So the idea that water is more than just water, I think, is not new. So yes, your body needs minerals and electrolytes to absorb actually water to your cell. So that is nothing new, but this whole idea of that water needs to be crystallized now and that there's an energy level of water is all for me baloney.
What we've come to do is take all of nature out of the water, and then we give you a bunch of H2O in a glass and be like, here, this will satiate you.
But the big difference is between him and me.
So what happens when you get Lily off the liquid diamonds?
How many of you remember the early 90s rock band, the Bangles, made of moms by day and rock stars at night? Turns out two of them, these two, are actually shape-shifting reptilians. Let's take a look as they start malfunctioning on television. Their liquid crystal is running all out. Don't worry, girls, your makeup looks wonderful, but your shedding is starting to show. They're coming out. We're hosing and exposing these dirty reptilians. It's shedding season. Look at that. They look like a zebra. This is wild. Reptilian. How many of you remember the early 90s rock band?
Oh my goodness. That was hilarious. You find very old water inside crystal, I wouldn't drink it.
To meet with teenagers who were living in exclusion, who were living in extreme poverty. Listen to their stories and write them for UNICEF. And so, I mean, I obviously learned so much from these kids. I learned from Anna in particular, who has lived an extremely difficult life. I learned to live each day to its fullest.
Excuse me, Johnny, there's a word you used earlier in the interview about exclusion. Can you explain what that is?
Well, a lot of it after the University of Texas, after graduating, and then went on to Latin America. And you know, of course, I've grown up. It's been 7 years since people had that image of me. But yeah, I mean, listening to their stories was incredible.
Jetta, when you see this, when you not only listen to their stories, but you get involved and you write about it as well, does it change how you look?
United States government and to help them get the medicine they need to stay healthy. But definitely, and I think the key is education. And for instance, with Anna's mother didn't have the education. Education in Latin America has taken the proper ARVs, and
that triangle
is most likely HIV negative. So there is a positive light to all of this.
Does it ever make you feel like you?
I don't know, man. That last one looked like some type of formation, some type of triangle on her forehead, man. That reptilian must have been high ranked. Your thoughts below. We chilling on these dark waters.
The reason why crystals are so important to our body. The reason why crystals are so important to our body is because not only do our body synthesize these crystals called liquid crystals or liquid crystallines, we actually have it within inside of our molecular structure. And inside your brain, you have like trillions of what you would call magnetite crystals. Then around each different cells is called the skeleton of the cell. Even inside of our cytoplasma, you have something called cholesterol, LDL cholesterol and HDL cholesterol. When these things mix with mucus around the cells, they form something called liquid crystals. And all crystals is these organic patterns that act as receptors and antennas to your outside environment. So your skin acts as a receptor where it scans the environment and it brings signals back to the environment, and it tells your molecular structure how to change to interact with the environment. Well, what this signal is interacting with, not only is it interacting with the environment, but when it brings the signal back, it brings the signal to the actual liquid crystals, and the liquid crystals actually go through something called DNA methylation, where DNA methylation changes the genome, and this changes how you interact with your environment. So crystals are amazing. And not only that, crystals are powerful because they actually operate at a certain frequency. They call it microhertz, and your body and your cells have certain microhertz to them. If you look at the volts of each individual cell in your body, the body consists of 150 trillion cells. These cells have a 0.07 volt that's megawatt volt that's coming from them. This is actually electrified or magnified by the actual liquid crystals inside the body. So crystals are amazing. Your body is made of crystals. Cell phones are made of crystals. Computers are made of crystals. This new nanotechnology that they're using for televisions is made of crystals. The very camera, the glass in there, these are crystals. So without crystals, you really can't function properly, because crystals actually magnify and it's a receptor to the electrical magnetic grid of the earth. So crystals are very important, and crystal work is important too.
Interesting. We're gonna have to dive more into these crystals. I did not know. I knew crystals, you know, did stuff, but I didn't know crystals, you know, could be broken down on a molecular level like that. You know, that's interesting. You know, we gotta dive more on these crystals. You guys' thoughts below. Do you have any special crystals? Well, let me know your thoughts. Or do you try to stay away from them? It's not good. I want to know. I want to know.
My mom's a priestess, but I have to let everybody know that. And we're like real spiritual.
Yeah, don't come around my chicken.
Okay, let me just disclaim this real quick. So, we are vegetarian, vegan. You don't have to spill blood for Ifa unless you're cursed.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Blood is a very powerful tool to use because it's liquid crystal. My mom's a priestess, but I have to let everybody know that. And we're like,
the man behind.
Hey, she said blood is a liquid crystal? That's interesting.
LCD Technologies demonstrated that he could imprint an image from his mind into liquid crystals. Marcel Vogel was a scientist at IBM for 27 years, where he received 32 patents for his inventions. One of his most remarkable discoveries came when he focused his mind on a liquid solution of cholesterol for an hour, visualizing the image of Mother Mary. The figure then visibly appeared in the liquid crystals, proving that crystals could receive and hold imprints coming directly from the human mind. After working with liquid crystals, he applied these concepts to create the famous Vogel crystal. He received a vision of the Tree of Life as the key pattern for cutting a clear quartz crystal into the optimal resonance shape for cohering thought and energy, creating a master healing tool. Any thought put into a Vogel crystal will be held, amplified, and transmitted energetically into other systems. The man behind LCD Technologies demonstrated.
Many of you may know by now, I've been talking about this for months.
I'm not sure yet. I don't know if it's got the point, but if it does. Look at this. Oh my God, dude, look. Yes. That's one of the biggest points ever. Yes. Oh, man. I don't know if it's got a perfect tip, but it's huge face. Look at that. Good Lord.
This is the Pokemon remake that every fan.
So full of the. Say it with me.
Called liquid crystal present in the human body. Liquid crystals exist in some important tissues such as the crystalline lens of the eye, intervertebral discs, and certain joints. Liquid crystals are a state of matter that lies between a liquid and a solid crystal. They possess an ordered arrangement similar to crystals while retaining the flow properties of liquids. This unique structure allows liquid crystals to exhibit characteristics of both solids and liquids simultaneously. The unique properties of liquid crystals confer upon them several vital functions. In the crystalline lens of the eye, the presence of liquid crystals enables us to adjust focal length, facilitating clear vision at varying distances. Within intervertebral discs, liquid crystals serve as cushions, absorbing and dissipating pressure, thereby protecting our spine. Liquid crystals also possess optical properties, allowing them to modify their transparency based on the direction of light propagation. This characteristic has found extensive applications in liquid crystal display (LCD) technology, such as LCD televisions and computer screens. Despite the presence of liquid crystals in our bodies and their crucial functions, they remain relatively unknown to the general public. This remarkable molecular structure not only highlights the diverse and wondrous forms in the natural world but also serves as a reminder of the marvels and intricacies within our own bodies.
This man became famous at the stone auction. He paid $5,000 for this rock. He cut up his gem on the spot. He thinks there are rubies inside the rock. He insisted they cut the stone open for him. What? Only the rough jade layer appears. We advised him to get his money back, but he refused and wanted us to continue. He was sure there was jade inside. The spectators were extremely excited. He just boiled the rock with boiling water. Have you ever seen a stone with blood in it? The viewer suggested he cut it quickly. Extremely excited. Everyone wants to see the ruby. He wants to tell everyone he will become rich. Cut it open. Look at the results. Oh. Where is jade located? Inside there are only stones. He just fell apart. This man...
So what happened? Did he make money off of it or what? Was there a jade inside? What's this?
Became famous.
Can you explain what liquid?
This ancient water has been trapped in this quartz crystal. It can be traced back to over 100 million years ago. It is the most pure water on the planet and is free of all man-made pollutions. This crystal helps you purify your mind, body, and soul. And it's often referred to the elixir of life. Do you like it? This ancient...
That might be a reach. The elixir of life. That's a reach. But it might be good. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm thirsty now. Alright, we are definitely off the liquid crystal subject. I can't turn away. Oh, those are for the kids. Nice.
Want to see something cool? I have some clear quartz crystal. I'm going to show you piezoelectricity. So if you're skeptical about the power of crystals, stay tuned. Regular clear quartz. Watch this. Turn off the light. I'm going to start rubbing these together. Want to see something cool? I have some clear quartz crystal.
He was doing that fast.
Piezoelectricity. So if you're skeptical about the power of crystals, stay
listen,
tuned.
it's almost like he took a machine out and was hitting it. No, I'm just kidding. Let me see if I can do it that fast.
I'm gonna start rubbing these together.
Yeah, it could work. Yeah, that's him slapping it. That's real. That's real electricity, however he's generating it. Easy-o electricity. You might be on to something, man. Might be on to something.
Want to see something cool?
All right, is this a legitimate gem find? So the riverbed appears to be a completed game of Tetris. That gem has no sediment on it whatsoever. That's some thick ice. Going back, that gem was probably placed there a week ago, possibly before Christmas at the latest. You better be going ice fishing, because that's the realest thing you're going to find out of that hole is a fish. That's fake. All right, is this a legitimate gem find?
This mysterious clear liquid does something pretty amazing when you pour it. It's a supersaturated solution that crystallizes nearly instantly upon contact with a nucleation site, in this case, other crystals. So what's it made out of? Believe it or not, this is basically just salt and vinegar flavoring. The chemical name for this is sodium acetate trihydrate. Trihydrate means that for every molecule of sodium acetate in this chemical, there are 3 molecules of water. This is called water of crystallization, and it happens because the water stabilizes sodium acetate's crystal structure, and so it won't naturally dry any further than this. Then, by heating this on a hot plate, we don't actually melt it, we just increase its solubility to the point that it actually dissolves in its own water of crystallization. Chilling this in the fridge super cools it, making it ready to crystallize at the slightest disturbance. This mis-
That is a cool stone. What is it, lemon? Cleaning copper with lemon? What is going on here? Oh, like the Egyptians used to have back in the day. Got the 3 6s. I can't go. Oh, this is the crystals inside the phone. Liquid crystals inside the phone.
With drinking amethyst water. My Zentrinsic. So this week I've been experimenting with drinking amethyst water. My Zentrinsic water bottle has been perfect because I can put whatever crystal blends I want in my water, and this week I chose to work with amethyst. Now, I'm going to tell you what's really happened this week since I've been drinking this water. The biggest thing I've noticed while drinking amethyst water is how calming I felt. I feel like I haven't had that much anxiety this week, and I felt very in flow with the universe. So this week I've been...
I mean, it looks cool.
You ready?
Ready? This is like, oh shit. Get some oxygen. Oh my god.
That is good, baby. That is good.
That feels...
Are you ready to be hatched?
My heart is beating so fast.
Shant is hatching! Shanti hatching!
Amazing.
Woo. I'd love to have one of those for a chair. How cool would it be to have one of those for a chair? I think it's got to be worth some money. What do you guys think? Where's that even at? Look like some type of crystal exhibit. Yeah.
Do you know what the rarest gemstone in our universe is? You may think it's diamond, but diamonds are a complete scam, and their whole scarcity is manufactured to make you spend a lot of money. And that makes sense because diamonds are only superheated and compressed carbon. It actually rains diamonds on Saturn. So it's not diamonds, so maybe it's like emerald? Because, you know, maybe only our planet can make green? No. The rarest gemstones in the entire universe are actually these. and they're called organics. Because there's actually one really important ingredient needed for organics to even form, and that's life. Amber is fossilized tree resin. And no, Jurassic Park wasn't lying to you. You can actually find tons of bugs in there. As the tree gets injured, the sap comes out and kind of just drizzles over whatever's hanging out at the time. This can result in some pretty amazing inclusions like bugs, leaves, twigs, pretty much anything you can think of that's crawling around on the forest floor. On the other hand, not only do pearls need life to form, but they need a specific type of life. A mollusk. Because you see, a pearl forms when an irritant, like a little grain of sand, gets inside the shell of a mollusk. That mollusk takes that irritant, and over time it coats it with its inner shell. It's called nacre. So whatever the inside of the mollusk's shell looks like is what the pearl's going to look like in the end. So the next time you hold an organic gemstone in your hand, just know that you're holding something as galactically rare as you are. Do you know what
Galactically rare as you are? I like that. I have no idea. It could be slime, maybe?
I've heard that when you put a labradorite in water, it glows. I've heard that when you put a labradorite in water, it...
That's actually pretty cool. It did have a glow about it.
Quartz crystals to produce light. When a quartz crystal is broken, one side of the quartz has a positive charge and the other a negative. When rubbed together, this creates a high voltage between the two, and charges can jump from one side to another. Now let's see this in action. This phenomenon is known as triboluminescence or cold fire. Thousands of years ago, indigenous tribes in North America gathered quartz and placed it inside of thin hide, allowing them to shake the rattle and light it up. It is not capable of starting a fire, but it was probably used in ceremonies and storytelling.
Nah, there's more to it. I'm not going. Crystal was charging this jet ski. I'm not going. There was more to just rubbing crystals together just for ceremonies. There was something going on, some type of ancient technology going on that they're not telling us about. What's really going on?
I just found out my crystals are all piastic. Ayo, I'm gonna cry. I just found out my crystals.
Oh, so you can get ripped off and get plastic crystals? Yikes.
How to tell if crystals are real? First of all, they don't melt. Fake ones made of plastic will start to melt within 5 to 10 seconds. And then check its hardness. Take a steel knife, find a smooth surface on your crystal and try to scratch it. Steel is much softer than quartz, so there will be no scratches left. You can do the scratch test only with quartz category crystals. Don't do it with selenite or fluorite because you can damage them. How to tell if crystals are real? First,
Green quartz.
Did you guys know that's how you can tell a crystal if it's real or not, to scratch it? Well, now you know.
This stone helps people look on the bright side of things, turning negative energy into positive energy. Green quartz.
Got so many requests to do crystal light. Let me explain why you should not have this in your house. So people really use this to make lemonade without actually using lemons. That's crazy to me. I have looked at so many products. This is one of the worst ones. It's got the artificial sweetener aspartame in here, which is known to cause so much brain damage. Maltodextrin, which spikes your blood sugar more than sugar itself. It's also from GMO corn. Natural flavor, artificial sweetener, acesulfame potassium. The soy in here is GMO. There's yellow 5, which is an artificial color, as it says right here. Where are the lemons? So instead, here's what you do. Good quality water, get a bunch of organic fresh squeezed lemons, and add a high quality sweetener like organic stevia, organic monk fruit, or allulose. It tastes delicious, and it's the real thing. Flav City also has a keto lemonade, made with very clean ingredients. Follow the channel for more food shopping tips.
Crystallization is something that happens to all.
I'm the worst, man. I need to get back on my smoothies, man. If you go back to my older videos, I was yelling, drink some smoothies, go to Walmart and get yourself some smoothies. I'm need to get back on that. Some orange juice and just some regular, fruit blend. Nothing special, you're good.
If your honey is crystallized like this, let's turn it back to liquid. Grab a pot, fill it with water, crank it up to a boil, wait patiently for it to boil, preferably with company. Once it reaches a boil, turn off the heat and take it off the burner. Let it cool just a little bit before you put your closed jar of honey in. Give it a few minutes in this hot tub and bam, it's back to liquid.
Smooth like butter, like a criminal undercover.
Seeing that cat kind of makes me want a cat. I don't know. I heard those orange cats are real good. Man, the quality on this is clean. I hate to toot my own horn, but dang, this quality. But yeah. Yeah, seeing that cat was nice, man. It was kind of makes me want a pet, man. Like get me an outdoors cat or orange cat, You guys got pets? What type of pets you guys got? I always wanted a panther chameleon or to start my own saltwater tank, I always wanted a saltwater tank, man. But they just were too expensive. You gotta have money to put down on one of them and keep it nice, Let me know what you guys got down below. And email me some pictures, man. I wouldn't mind seeing it, seeing what you guys got. If you got a tank set up, I actually would love that. One of my dreams is to get into aquascaping down the line. If you don't know what that is, it's basically underwater gardening. You can make it look real nice and have a thriving ecosystem if you're good at it. It's called aquascaping. No, let me show you it. We're chilling, man. It's been a minute. I miss y'all, man. Y'all mind if I should do a little aquascaping?
If your honey is crystallized,
just a little bit of aquascaping. Yeah, this is basically aquascaping. Oh. What was he doing? Was he like getting it ready for like everything, or is he cleaning it? Oh. That's tight. I love that. This is what I want to do. Build my very own. I'm going to do it live. Would you guys be interested in me doing this live and just watching me take care of it? Because I really do have a passion for this type of stuff. Maybe we can get some crystals or some copper in there and get those fish vibrating on the right frequency. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know what's going on, man. Aquascaping. Look how beautiful. They got competitions of it in Japan. You get people that's really good at it. They get awards and stuff. It gets deep. How clear can you get the water, Is he cutting the soil? Yeah, they normally got some type of music jamming out. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's nice. I really want to do this. I forgot I wanted to do this. I want to do it with you guys, man. We need to make it like a community project, you know? Ah, these dudes are serious. Would they put a bonsai tree in there? Is that even real? Oh, they're serious. Look at this. Could you imagine waking up and just coming out? Is that real is my question. It's definitely freshwater because those are freshwater fish, I believe. So it's not a saltwater tank. I should know those fish, but I'm out of it, man. I haven't been into the scene of the aquascape for a minute. Bonsai. They put a bonsai tree in there. How cool is that? They got some music for us? Yeah, that's probably chopped. I create a little space for them so they can breathe. I wonder if you could eat the plants. Probably wouldn't be too good.
To prepare for the dry start method. The dry start method is a great way to carpet an aquarium. First, plant the tank. With planting complete, it's time to cover the tank with plastic wrap to prepare for the dry start method. During this 5-week dry start period, we keep the lights on for 8 hours a day and mist the tank 2 to 3 times daily. In addition, we make sure to crack open the plastic wrap for at least 15 minutes a day to encourage airflow. This ensures the perfect conditions for HC Cuba to thrive and spread out. After 5 weeks, the plants have spread, grown healthy roots, and have established themselves well. The aquarium is now ready to fly. The dry start method.
5 weeks? You gotta wait 5 weeks just for the plants to touch the ground? Man, that takes dedication and patience. But to be carpeted with organic life, having real underwater plants, that's cool. I wonder what type of emissions it gives off, like, you know, the oxygen levels. They say most of the oxygen comes from the stuff underwater. Imagine how much oxygen you're getting off of one of these plants up in your crib. Maybe that's what we need to type in. The benefits of aquascaping. Huh? That is tight. That looks straight out of Lord of the Rings. I love it.
todo gusto le atendemos. Compramos carros y camionetas viejas para desarmar. Con todo gusto le atendemos. Compramos carros y camionetas viejas para desarmar.
Shrimp putting in work, keeping the tank clean. Gotta love it. I gotta learn about the different species, how they coexist, you know. You can really have a thriving ecosystem. You got your shrimp cleaning. You got those, what are those, sucker fish against the wall. You know, you got those little blue fish making it look clean. You can't throw in those beta fish, 'cause I think they fight everybody. Could you have a successful tank with multiple betas? I don't know.
Shrimp living in their own little national parks made just for them. Shrimp living in their own little national parks.
It ain't 2009 no more.
How's the pH? I know that's how they check pH. I think if that turns a certain color, it's time to check the water or something. Cool stuff. Oh, that's tight. They all want to be in there. How do they get those colors? What is he doing? Why is he ripping it up? Why?
Post videos like this, I get quite a few comments of people, why are you putting two males together? They are territorial. Whenever I post videos like this, I get quite a few comments of people saying that I'm stressing out my fish or that males can't live together. These two males do not live together. What I'm doing here is flaring my betas. And beta flaring is a great way to exercise them and to keep your fish stimulated. I only flare them for about 1 to 2 minutes and then they each go back into their own tanks. Why are you?
So basically you're saying the betas gotta they gotta go get rough. They gotta get rough. Look at someone in the mirror like, hey man, you know, I still got my flare. Don't make me flex on you. Flare is just a fish way of saying flex. Interesting.
Why are you putting two males together? They are.
Did you know to keep your water crystal clear, you have to make it a little bit dirty first? This is how I do it. I take a couple dirty sponges from a fish tank, and then I just squeeze it inside the newly set up fish tanks that I'm trying to jumpstart. This will allow it to have all the beneficial bacteria it needs to sustain life. How do I know this? Well, That's exactly how I set up every single one of these tanks that's in my garage. And at the end of the day, it beats chemicals every single time. Did you know to keep your water crystal clear, you have to make it a little bit dirty first? This is how I do it. I take a couple dirty sponges from a fish tank.
Ooh, how artistic. He has the trees popping up. It's got kind of a creepy, scary, you know, murky vibe. Interesting. I wonder what they're doing. What is this stuff? It's like a whole different world when it comes to this aquascaping, y'all. We're going to be here for about 5 hours on this aquascaping, so y'all might as well. I'm just kidding. But this is interesting. Y'all don't like this? I love it. This is tight, man. What are they going to do next? Whose tank? What type of tank setup do they have? What type of equipments are they using? You know? It's a whole new world like Aladdin. That black sheet did pop it off. I'm glad he put it there. That made it look a lot better. Great job. These tanks are nice, man. You don't want to get those old crusty ornaments, you know, you find at the shelf on top of a shelf. Get some type of organics popping off in your tank, you know? Get some good organics. He's got tanks. He does this. No filter tank, self-sustaining. It's a self-enclosed ecosystem. Nothing goes in, nothing goes out. It has everything it needs inside this ecosystem. Almost like that's a firmament, you know? Nah, yes. Just kidding, just kidding. We ain't gonna go there, or should we? Because this is a perfect example. Yeah, guys, I just want to show you a little bit of the aquascaping. And let me know if you guys would be interested in more of those videos, or possibly your boy doing like an aquascaping channel, because that is something I am passionate about, you know. And I could see me, you know, developing that into a good craft. I would love it. I always, you know, I was one of those kids who wanted to be a marine biologist growing up, you know, but I found out, you know, it'd be tough, you know. I looked up to Steve Irwin, Jeff Corn, watching Animal Planet. That just was your boy, you know. I couldn't get enough of that stuff, you know. When I was devastated when I found out about my boy Steve Irwin. Rest in peace, man.
My personal research. Now, crystals are sentient living beings in my personal.
Uh-oh, your boy snuck in here again. What's he gonna say now? Man, he knows it all, doesn't he? You gotta be careful, man. That's for entertainment purposes only. On the crystals, man. He got in here. So every subject, your boy is in here.
Now, crystals are sentient living beings in my personal research. They can replicate, they can communicate, they can
keep your head on a swivel.
Send and receive information. They're alive. They can grow on their own. They can duplicate. So I believe that another thing that they did was they used stone that had crystal, because in their perception, they were creating living machines. Okay, so the statues, they were alive. These vases, they're alive. Those boxes, they're all alive because they're loaded with so many tons of crystal.
What is it? Is it quartz crystal or
quartz crystal?
Quartz.
Yeah.
What do you think the purpose of those boxes were?
Oh, Halls of Amenti. So if you read the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, my first book, Compendium of the Emerald Tablets, I break it all the way down.
Okay.
He had these boxes in these underground halls that were discovered underneath the Great Pyramid, exactly where he says they were in his tablets. And in these halls, and it was just one of the locations. They had them all over the earth. They would actually create their own bodies. So we fashioned our own bodies. So they would either take a stem cell and turn it into a clone of themselves, but they didn't take other bodies. They said they made their own. And then they would put a body in a rejuvenation chamber, which is the box. And then they would transfer their consciousness from the body that's been used up into the newer body. And they said we would walk amongst men, but unlike a man. And so they would be here walking around, and you wouldn't even know that they'd just been transferring their mind from body to body.
So those giant boxes under the pyramid, what were they really going on? Now we got Halls of Adamante. It could have been some type of battery charger. It could have been water under the pyramids. I don't know. I've been out the game for so long, fighting for my life on these dark waters. I can't even stress the pyramid power plants, all that. I gotta get back on it, man. I lost my edge. You know, I gotta, the fight is in me, but the knowledge is too much. Like Riddler on Batman when he was absorbing all that information. It's too much.
This world is changing for the better. How many people seen the crystal quartz coming through the earth? The planet is speaking to us. When she wake up, we wake up. We have no time to stay asleep no more. Remember, crystals is knowledge, wisdom, and data. These crystals are coming through the earth because it's time for us to wake up. Don't forget that we have a crystal city inside of this planet. Crystal City is the highest vibration on this planet. Let's not forget that our pineal gland is really a crystal that's...
Could that Crystal City be the Halls of Adamante? For entertainment purposes only? I don't know. But it sounded good.
Stores and holds data. Once we remember that we are crystals, we will understand why they want our pineal gland to be calcified. At first, it's going to seem like the world is falling apart, but it's not falling apart, it's coming together. Once we come together and realize what's really going on, the game is over for the people that run this world. It's the reason why we have chakras inside of our body. These chakras are really crystal, but your crystal will not shine if you don't heal your body. That's why spirituality is so important. It's all about healing and remembering who you are. So when you hear about these quartz breaking through the planet, it's just the first step. More is going to come. Remember, these Hollywood movies tried to warn us or let us know that crystals are really important. Matter of fact, crystals is how we talk to our ancestors. Remember this guy, Superman? He went to a crystal cave to talk to his ancestors, but the green crystal always made him weak. Why did the green crystal make him weak? It's because the green crystal represents the heart chakra. And the people that run this world are the false serpents. When you look at Superman logo, you might see an S, but it's not really an S. His logo is really a serpent because he represents the false reptilians that took over our world. Did you know there's crystals in cell phones, TVs, radios, all kind of technology for communication? The earth is trying to speak to us. That's why the quartz is breaking through the planet. You must have high vibrations or be connected to the mother to understand what she's trying to tell us. It's a warning. Things are changing for those who put in the work and effort to change. But for those who want to stay asleep, you're going to stay asleep. I have an 18-step guide in my ebook if you want to know what to do when
I'm connected to the Father that created the earth and the moon through his son. Next video.
So physicists think that crystals are the key to understanding the entire universe, and this is like mind-blowing in physics right now. By the way, I didn't buy this. An ex gave this to me for some reason, and I'm pretty sure it's cursed. You ever wonder why they're called crystals? So this kind of crystal is an example of a crystalline solid, which has a crystal structure. But what does that mean? Crystal structure is anything whose microscopic building blocks, like atoms, forms a periodic, definite pattern, and not all crystal structures are the same, as we all know. But that's not the crazy part, okay? Crystallography is the study of crystal structures. Crystallography has really only been taken seriously in the last decade. In the 80s, quasicrystals were discovered. A quasicrystal is a crystal whose structure doesn't have that definite pattern. It's ordered, but it's not periodic. First of all, we've only made synthetic ones. These aren't naturally occurring, except for two that came from a fucking meteorite that hit the earth, but whatever. Second of all, there was a Princeton professor who thought that quasicrystals might have something to do with the mysterious phenomenon of prime numbers. Prime numbers are the biggest mystery in math, right? Like, they'll offer you $1 million if you can find a pattern in them. But he had this feeling that quasicrystals and the pattern in prime numbers, the pattern, might be related. It turns out they follow the same Ulam spiral, which implies that the pattern of prime numbers is a completely different category of a structure. I immediately thought of the Fibonacci sequence and how we see that in nature. Like, this could also be, prime numbers could be a reflection of these quasicrystals. Now, here's the mind-blowing part. I found a really good example of this in a video. So that 3D crystal produces that 2D quasicrystal. There's a group of scientists that are researching this because they think that our third three-dimensional world is a reflection of a four-dimensional crystal. And they never taught us this in school, but there is a fourth state of matter that exists in that fourth dimension. And what is it? It's called a time crystal. This whole thing is super complicated, but the craziest part about time crystals, remember when Nikola Tesla had that idea for infinite energy in a perpetual motion machine? And we're like, this is impossible because it violates the first two laws of thermodynamics, right? Except for the fucking people on Reddit who think they're the next Nikola Tesla. But the pattern in time crystals are in perpetual motion without violating those laws. It's very similar to a perpetual motion machine, but it's not going to produce energy. But they are using it for quantum computing right now. All of this is very interesting and exciting. My beef with physicists comes when they don't work with philosophers, because a complete physical theory of everything must coexist with all states of consciousness. Physicists make shit philosophers, and philosophers don't think physics is important, and you can't be a good philosopher if you don't know physics. First example that came to mind is you see quasicrystals all the time on psychedelics. Someone should look into that. So physicists.
She was low-key cooking. I gotta go back and rewatch that. It was a lot of information getting thrown at me, but seeing that three-dimensional cube from that two-dimensional cube, just from the shade, that was interesting. Definitely onto something on that last one. She was cooking.
Free, unlimited energy straight from crystals. And guess what? It's not as crazy as it sounds. First of all, before I dig in, is this going to power your house? No. I mean, maybe if you had like a giant crystal and you had a massive wrecking ball and you just slammed them together, maybe. And I'm not talking about this billion-dollar scam right here either. So way back in 1880, these two scientists right behind me, Pierre Curie and Jacques Curie, figured out that if they applied mechanical stress to the crystals, a voltage would develop. So what's happening here is the direct generation of electrical energy straight from crystals using mechanical stress like vibration, pressure, or even a hammer like this hitting a crystal. And it's called the piezoelectric effect. And what's wild is that even way back then, they discovered that you could do this with quite a few materials. The first being quartz. And I just state that one first because it's the most popular when it comes to piezoelectric materials. But it's also possible to do this with tourmaline, topaz, Rochelle salt, and the shocker, cane sugar. Now, look, it took a very long time before there was a practical use for this phenomenon. The first of these had to do with detecting submarines back in World War I, and a very cool invention that you should look up. Look up this guy's name and you'll find it. And fast forward to present day, and there are a ton of applications for this technology. And believe it or not, it's the backbone of a lot of the stuff you use every day. But anyhow, let's get to the important stuff, energy generation. Here's the thing, look at the world around you. Your movements like walking, running, cars traveling on the road, vibrations from machines, on and on. These are all mechanical stresses that make up our everyday life. And guess what? We can tap this vibrational energy to help power our world. And it's pretty basic as to how it works. Take a crystal like quartz and attach two wires, one on opposite sides. Hit it with a hammer, your hand, anything, and boom, you will generate electricity. Your hand might hurt though if you use that. And what's interesting is that it works in the opposite direction. So you can apply a voltage to one of these piezoelectric materials, and guess what happens? The crystal or material will deform. But again, here's the thing. You are not going to power your oven, toaster, or charge your Tesla. Ain't happening. But what you will be able to do is harvest the energy from the environment to power and charge small devices. Or maybe no one's figured out how to really tap this. Anyhow, it's been in the works for years and may begin to find practical applications for charging and powering your everyday devices. And there are a ton of patents detailing inventive ways to implement this technology in your everyday life. From putting it in shoes, into buildings, you name it, the possibilities are endless. Remember that shoe I just told you about? Well, this is an insert for a shoe that can harvest energy just from you walking. And guess what? People are already doing this on their own. Hobbyists are. This guy did it right here. We should probably do this as a project. What do you guys think? But this invention right here is probably one of my favorites. It generates electrical energy from car tires. I've covered this in a previous video, which you should go and check out. But this isn't only limited to just lifeless crystals and rocks. You may not believe it, but your bones are piezoelectric. Even your DNA and certain proteins. So what could that mean? Who knows? And there's this weird thing called earthquake lights, and some scientists believe that this is caused by the quartz in the Earth's crust, and that when earthquakes happen, that vibration occurs. Massive electrical charges built up. People say they see lights before earthquakes and during them. Free.
Wow. Earthquake lights. Tires that can charge. That is a great idea, man. Earthquake lights. What? Piezoelectricity. I've been asleep. They keeping these from the public. What else are they lying to us about? We got free electricity everywhere. From the mercury rectifiers, from the piezoelectricity, from crystals being smashed together. What else are they not telling us, y'all?
They discovered that there's two types of crystals on and in the pineal gland.
So what he's referencing is a study done by Israeli scientists back in 2002. This study was able to confirm the existence of non-pathological calcite crystals that exist within and on our pineal glands. This means that the ancients, Tesla, Einstein, and Da Vinci all knew the power of activating these microcrystals through breathwork and meditation. Once activated, these crystals have a piezoelectric effect and emit their own electromagnetic field. These crystals are also very sensitive to frequency, and they basically transform our pineal gland into a high-frequency radio antenna, enabling us to access the quantum field or the Akashic record. These quantum signals are faster than speed or the wavelength of light, meaning they're perceivable beyond our five senses. So when the microcrystals are resonating and accessing the quantum field, our brains are transcending this information from basically frequency into electrical pulses and relays the information in the most profound way. This information is carried in the form of thoughts and imagery. Quartz crystals are used to enhance this piezoelectric effect. Like and follow for more.
Going quantum with my thoughts. I'm harnessing everything. Come on, going quantum with thoughts. They broke it down. Gotta keep that pineal clean.
Let's talk about crystals. A lot of people had this false narrative about crystals. I've heard they were evil, witchcraft, or whatever else you want to say. I've heard it. Crazy thing is your brain actually contains crystals. Then you like diamonds, right? Let me let you in on something. Diamonds are also crystals. So now do me a favor and quit picking and choosing. Now that we got that out the way, let me tell you the good about crystals. Crystals contain and hold energy. Crystals are a big help on your spiritual journey. Every type of crystal helps one of your 7 chakras. For example, the ones that want to open up their third eye, you have crystals for that. This amethyst crystal helps the third eye and your crown chakra. So you use it and pull its energy in meditation. It also gets rid of bad energy, so I keep it close to me. So just remember, they always label the stuff that's good for you, bad for you, man. Start using your own brain, your own judgment. Peace to you all. It will all come falling down. Let's talk about crystals.
What's going on? Y'all gonna get a crystal necklace, man? Y'all let me know. Keep the bad spirits away. Y'all let me know, man. Me, I've been alright without it, man. It's, you know, I think about that story, you know, when they was asleep on the boat, thunderstorm going everywhere. It's, you know, everyone on the boat, you know, is panicking. They don't know what to do. And the master, the Messiah, is sitting there knocked out sleep during the middle of a thunderstorm. You know, what type of operation is going on to allow that to happen is what you might want to ask yourself. Let's keep it going on these dark waters.
There were 13 heads, and it was purported that the Navajo, the Anasazi, the Mayans, the Aztec each had one. The most famous one is the Mitchell Hedges skull, which was found in the Yucatan by Anna Mitchell Hedges. She reached into a cave. She was with her grandfather. It was around 1926, and she reached in, and there was an oilcloth covered item in there, and she pulled it out and opened it up, and there was the two-piece detachable jaw Mitchell Hedges skull. The Hewlett-Packard engineers did a test on it in the 60s. They said it could not have been carved by a lapidary, by tools. It had to have been polished over hundreds of years, over centuries, to get to the shape that it was. So they said it was a polished item. So there's the Phyllis Newman skull named Max. She has to put it in the closet because it talks to her. Then there's the Mitchell Hedges skull that's in Indiana. People said when they walked into the room and she uncovered it with the cloth she kept it in, that there was an immediate feeling of well-being and healing coming over. There's one in Mexico City. It's got a cross stuck right in the top of it, which is, you know, that would shatter a crystal if you did that. How that cross got there, I don't know. There were 13 heads, and it was...
Dang, that story's off the Richter scale. Did you guys hear about that? Yikes. That one with immense healing, that's cool, but the one that, you know, that got enlarged, what did bro do? Yikes. Your thoughts below. They saying these photos are leaked. They are interesting. They hitting us with AI. These AI generated boys. Yeah. But who knows? That's the dilemma now. People don't know if they real or fake. Is it some type of what's going on? They got different creatures down there. Hollow Earth Crystal City. Interesting. You got to think about the breastplate of was it Josh Shear? Oh no, I got to go back, man. Your boy's been trapped on the waters. I'm trying to get back to full strength, y'all. Forgive me.
Have you ever heard of crystal skulls? These are ancient and mysterious artifacts that some people believe the skulls hold secrets from the past, like a time capsule. But here's the crazy part. Some people believe that these skulls are actually alien technology. Aliens left behind these skulls, filled with incredible knowledge for us humans. But guess what? Governments around the world are keeping it absolutely secret. For what? Well, they don't want us to get our hands on this incredible alien intelligence. So these skulls could be like a hidden treasure trove of information about space and maybe even extraterrestrial life. It's like the aliens left us a special gift and we haven't opened it yet. However, one day we may discover the truth behind these fascinating crystal skulls.
What are you doing to it? Just a little experiment. Such an honor for you. No Gelfling has laid eyes upon the crystal in 1,000 shrines. Look deep into it. I feel it's pulling. Don't fight. Give the crystal your fear, your love, your secrets. Please, my lord, help me. Give the crystal everything. Give it your very
Dang. What type of Planet of the Apes movie is this? That Tartarian tech.
You can do this outside.
Wow.
To hide it from your electric fan, but it's okay to do in your house. And they don't really care. They don't really like you, the electric company. They don't. If they see anything on the wires outside, especially a quartz crystal, they will ask you to remove it, or they'll remove it themselves. So I'm just gonna stick this up here onto this main one right here.
She getting extra juice. Her home is getting powered by a quartz crystal. She getting extra juice. The electric company gonna owe her money.
How the electricity is slowed down. It'll actually slow down your meter, and you'll still have same electricity power, but you will not have as high bills, which saves you money. So you gotta take your quartz.
I've heard opals are bad luck. I've heard they're only bad luck if they're not your birthstone, but I've never heard that you shouldn't buy one for yourself. Now y'all know I love a good conspiracy. I also own a crystal shop, so I know a lot about crystal lore, but I've never entertained the idea that opals are bad luck. It just never resonated with me. But this comment got me curious, and I really want to know where all these rumors came from. Being a conspiracy girly, I immediately thought, this sounds like the work of Big Diamond. Big Diamond, aka De Beers. So I went with that, and lo and behold,
Okay, TikTok. If you guys don't know what's going on, researchers discovered 2 massive crystal pyramids on the bottom of the ocean floor. If you guys don't know, you need to look it up right now. It's in the Atlantic Ocean. Legend says any plane or anything that goes to the supposedly ends up in a different dimension. I don't know, that's just a legend. But if this article is true, And this is an actual picture of the crystal pyramids found in the ocean. And this is actually bigger than Egypt. We gotta get researchers down there and figure out what's going on. I mean, I think this has connection to do with the crystal skulls that they're always finding. I mean, they're crystal pyramids, crystal skulls. Put two and two together here. I told you guys. They only searched like 10% of the ocean. There is way, way more they haven't discovered. Comment down below what your guys' opinion is on this. Okay.
That's exactly why we on these dark waters. Crystal skulls. Didn't they make an Indiana Jones? I got a confession. I've never seen the Indiana Jones movie. I never seen it. I'm not in any rush to see them. If you guys recommend them, I might check it out. You know, but Crystal Skull, wasn't that one of them? Or was that Skull Island, King Kong or something? I don't know. Don't call me if you in a movie talk show, because we're not going to get far. But yeah, Crystal Skull. They might be trying to cover something up with that. Wasn't there a movie out with it? Crystal Skull Island, Crystal Skull? I don't know. All we do is fight on these dark waters for survival. That's all we do. But we're going to try to find some type of correlation here.
So among the CIA's declassified documents, there are a lot for Project Stargate, the psychic research project that the government has done. And this one article, I guess in particular, talks about a $350,000 purchase for crystal quartz. And the use was to power the radio networks, okay? So this literally means that crystals literally have energy, just like we thought. So here's the document. You guys can pause it to read if you want. It literally just talks about the purchase of crystal quartz being used for radio, like for powering the radio. What?
Crystals. I've been yelling about these mercury rectifiers for the longest if you look at my past videos. But could it been these crystals? These crystals that's powering this jet ski could power much more. Interesting.
For the longest time, we heard that crystals are demonic, but I'm going to give it to you in a way that you probably never heard before. Crystals in itself is not demonic, but when you place your faith in these things, then that's when it becomes satanic. You worshiping Satan and you don't even know it. I'm not here to judge you. I got some things I want you to think about. Lucifer was the one building the foundation for the New Jerusalem. For each foundation that he built, a crystal, a stone was placed on his skin. If he laid the foundation for sapphire, sapphire was placed on his skin. If he laid the foundation for jasper, jasper was placed on his skin. Lucifer was covered with the very stones that people idolize today. He reached the 9th stone and placed it on as usual. Lucifer was so beautiful that he was lifted up because of the pride and beauty that entered his heart. Fell from heaven, completing only 9 of the 12 foundations that he was supposed to lay. Lucifer right now is falsely called the bright and morning star. God did not create Lucifer with all this beauty like people think. If that was the case, he would have failed a long time ago. It was only when the stones was placed on him, he's saying how beautiful he became and got puffed up. God don't care about your title. He don't care about how many accolades you got. He resists the proud. You trust in crystals more than you trust in God, that's where the problem lies. When you trust more in the creation than you do the creator, God don't like that. You don't need crystals when you got the ultimate healer in Jesus.
Isn't he just a breath of fresh air? You know, you be watching stuff, but this brother right here, when you just watching him, you know, it's the serenity, the joy. You can see the spirit operating. Man, that's beautiful. All praises.
Jesus will give you peace and healing that no crystal can. Don't need crystals to be beautiful, because that's what you already are. In Jesus' name, Father, for more. For the
You guys want to check him out? That's Humble Keys. Shout out to the bro. For we're not wrestling flesh and blood. We're wrestling spiritual wickedness in high places. Shout out to the bro. Continue the good fight. Because Lord knows I am. I might just end it on that. That was a great one. Hey, if y'all made it this far and y'all enjoyed this new setup, man, some words of encouragement, check out the membership. I'm going to be updating, you know, adding some cheaper prices and some more exclusive perks and on some other ones. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Y'all know what's up. It's your boy Jet Ski Chuck. I'm back. It's your boy. Back on these waters. New camera. New computer. We ain't playing. You know, I'm not going to be caught again losing all my information, losing all my recordings. I'm not going. So we want everything new this time around. Full investment back into, you know, back into the craft. We'll chill later. You know, we got to stay on these waters, keep it popping, man. I missed y'all. I swear I did. You know, I hope y'all good. I hope y'all are great, man. It's your boy Jet Ski Chuck. If I put my name on it, I got to deliver. You know, I appreciate every one of you guys. I'm working on something big, you know, and it was on pause because of my computer, but we're back now. Back with these creepy and scary TikToks. I'm going to try to go live with y'all. How cool would it be to go on live on this, you know, where we just chilling, talking, you know, but we got to have, you know, some things lined up, but we're getting there, man. Merch on the way. You know, I'm going to be giving merch out, man, more than I'm selling it. I'm not even trying to make money off the merch. I'm just trying to, you know, wear something cool, to be honest. Wear a cool tank top, you know, with Dark Waters 9 on it, or Jet Ski Chuck, you know, keep your head on a swivel, something. What would you like to see on the shirt? Quantum 9? You guys tell me what you guys would love on the shirt, but I got a couple cool ideas, and we're going to be giving a lot away. Stickers, pens, lanyards, you name it. It's coming. Your boy Jet Ski Chuck is back. I'll holler at y'all on the next one, and man, it feels good. Peace.